Welcome back to Truth Threads, where real encounters blur the line between the living and the unexplainable. Tonight's tale features 3 allegedly true skinwalker encounters, disturbing, unforgettable experiences that will crawl under your skin and stay there long after the video ends. It began in October of 2022. I lived alone in a quiet suburban neighborhood, the kind of place where everyone used to decorate their homes for Halloween, until something changed after 2020. The spirit of Halloween was gone. Streets were empty, houses silent. That morning, I stepped outside with my coffee, ready to enjoy the autumn air, but froze when I noticed 2 figures standing 30 feet away among the trees. They wore masks, tall and motionless, watching. When I opened the door wider, they stiffened, then quickly slipped deeper into the trees. I brushed it off as kids playing around, but by nightfall, the memory lingered. Around 8 p.m., a sudden knock shattered the silence. I peeked through the window. No one. I opened the door cautiously, and there they were, the same masked figures, taller than any teenagers I'd seen, standing silently with no candy bags, no words, just staring. I nervously held out a bowl of candy, asked if they wanted some. Nothing. Not a sound. I closed the door, heart pounding, telling myself it was just a prank. But when the clock struck 2 a.m., a slow, rhythmic knock echoed again. My blood froze. I crept downstairs and looked through the peephole. One figure remained, mask still on, tapping the door softly. Where was the other? I turned and heard a creak behind me. From the hallway, a tall shadow sprinted toward me with a glint of silver, a knife. I bolted upstairs, locked myself in, shoved furniture against the door, and dialed 911 while hearing their muffled whispers on the other side. Then silence, until footsteps retreated, fading into the night. Police arrived later, finding nothing but faint, muddy prints near the back window. They said one had distracted me at the front, while the other broke in from behind. To this day, I still don't know why I was chosen, or if they were even human.
The second story took place deep in the woods at the end of autumn, when the trees were bare and the air bit like knives. I'd gone solo camping countless times before, but that night was different. The forest felt alive, aware. I'd set up camp near a fading trail, built a small fire, and wrapped myself in my sleeping bag. That's when I noticed movement. Something pacing between the trees, just out of sight. Every time I turned my flashlight, it vanished, like it knew exactly where the beam would land. I tried to tell myself it was just a deer, but as the night deepened, the footsteps returned, closer this time, circling the tent, crunching leaves one by one. My breath caught as silence took over. Then, without warning, the sound stopped completely. I waited, sweating, gripping my flashlight like a weapon. Finally, I burst out of the tent, but there was nothing. No wind, no footsteps, just the sound of the fire flickering low. I began to pack up, but as I crouched to pull the tent stakes, a blur darted behind me. I froze. From the shadows, a tall man stepped into the firelight. Rugged jeans, torn jacket, and eyes that looked almost empty. "Leaving so soon?" he rasped. My heart slammed against my ribs. His voice was wrong. Cracked, low, and hollow, like it didn't belong to him. I stepped back slowly. His expression shifted from curiosity to anger, his pupils almost glowing against the flames. I turned and ran. Behind me, heavy footsteps thundered, snapping branches as they followed. But after 30 seconds, they stopped, and the forest was silent again. I ran until dawn, shivering behind a fallen log until sunlight broke through. When I made it back to my car, I realized the trail I followed had never been marked. It didn't exist on any map. Some say skinwalkers mimic human form to lure wanderers deeper into the woods. Maybe that's what I meant that night. Not a man, but something wearing his skin.
The last story happened just last year. My sister went on a trip for Halloween weekend and left her dog, Milo, with me. I stayed at her house since my apartment didn't allow pets. The first day was calm, but Milo kept reacting to something I couldn't see. His ears perked, eyes fixed on the door for minutes at a time. Later, during our evening walk along a forest trail, he froze completely, staring down the path, trembling. I saw nothing, but his body language screamed fear. We turned back quickly, and he refused to go near that area again. Back inside, the house felt uneasy. Every creak, every flicker of light made my skin crawl. Around 10 p.m., I looked out the upstairs window and thought I saw movement by the tree line, a tall figure slipping past the edge of my view. I tried to shake it off, but as the night grew colder, Milo became restless, growling low under his breath. I decided to let him out one last time before bed. The moment I opened the back door, Milo stopped, his eyes locked toward the side of the house. I followed his gaze, and that's when I saw him, a man charging toward me from the darkness. My heart dropped. Milo lunged, barking viciously, forcing the figure to freeze mid-stride, then vanish into the trees. I slammed the door shut, locked it, and called 911. When officers arrived, they found muddy footprints leading straight to the back door and discovered the lock was broken, even though my sister swore it worked before. I didn't stay another night. Some say skinwalkers can't enter unless invited. Maybe that's why he stopped at the door. Whether you believe in skinwalkers or not, one thing's certain. There are things lurking in the dark that wear the faces of men but are anything but human. This has been Truth Threads. If these stories made your heart race, make sure to like, subscribe, and share with someone who thinks they're brave enough to watch till the end. Until next time, keep your lights on and don't open the door when the knocking starts.